last time, I told you, and I was telling our viewers, that we have liars, cheats, and forgetting the third name. And this is what I think of Wetangula still. Because Wetangula has a double speak. The same Wetangula has served in this parliament quite long. On 23rd September 2014, in parliament, Ekwe Ethuro was the speaker. Kajwang was still alive. Wetangula brought in a statement that courts cannot overrule parliament, and anything parliament does, they have under their jurisdiction, they cannot be controlled by the court. That means there was clear separation of powers. The same Wetangula, but the same Wetangula now has changed that a court process can stop a parliamentary process. I'm wondering, and I really need to go back to school to understand civic. And I tell you, civility is very important. So right now, I can't go to court and stop Wetangula from running his duties as speaker.
Yes.
And he should not until the case is heard. Because that's what a Kenyan would do. I remember there are times that courts required parliament to act in a certain way, and parliament reprimanded courts and told them, no, we are independent. And I remember, again, during that session, they said, Kajwang said, may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Mapambano, he said this, that if the courts are not tamed, then we'll have one arm of government that is the controller of other arms.
Yes.
And there was a clear fight between parliament and courts. What I'm trying to say is, when parliamentary duties are happening in their jurisdiction, they have a clear way of doing their things. Wetangula was removed from the same seat. Back then, who was the speaker? His governor was the speaker. He tried to make noise and said that it's going to be what? It is going to be I don't know what, and there will be very many casualties.
Yeah, it will be messy. It will be noisy, be unhealthy, and there'll be a lot of casualties.
I didn't see messy. I didn't see casualty. He was actually removed in totality.
That's it.
Okay? So, and that time, court had a case not to remove Wetangula. But since it is a parliament and can do their thing without interference from external, they removed Wetangula, and Wetangula was actually replaced. The issue of not removing Sabina is now the executive issue,
yes,
not parliamentary, not even judiciary. It is executive issue. The executive would want Sabina to remain there. And that's why some people write on page that Eric is bitter. Eric is not bitter. Eric is just not stupid to see things happening, then I keep quiet. Mm-hmm. When I look, Sabina is already removed by a certain group of coalition, which is according to the rule of parliament. You can remove someone if you feel he's not doing your duty. Which duty is this? She's supposed to be their whip, minority whip. But she's now gone to bed with the majority. I'm not going to say government, because in parliament now there's no government. There's minority, majority.
Yes.
Who is whipping the minority side? None. So the minority is looking for someone to take care of their side, because their whip is gone, which is normal English, look for a person to replace. They have replaced. Wetangula waits for a court case in Kiambu with an injunction to come, and now he reads an injunction in parliament as if Wetangula is not a lawyer. Actually, I think he's finished his thesis in PhD.
Yes.
I mean, for you to reach a level of PhD, surely you stop thinking. You become emotional and jittery. So what I'm trying to put here is Wetangula is playing politics. And he's a member of Kenya Kwanza. So they're playing politics. One of the way of playing politics is make sure the leader in parliament, there are two. Leader of majority, which is a leader of minority on this side.
Yes.
Whip this side, whip this side. From there are parliamentary sessions. Now we have committees. But now the most important are two. These are the people who run parliament. You understand?
Yes.
So if you weaken one side and remove their whip, so what have you done? So what is happening here? It is weakening the opposition side to make sure they can't operate. So any things you want to do, you will clear them. And I told you how I wish this finance bill passes so that Kenyans will get common sense. I will be hurting with them, but I want them to get common sense, that the next time they are voting, they vote using their heads, not their emotions. Last time they voted hustler versus dynasty. Eric is a son of a dynasty. I can never put myself son of a hustler, though my father is still very poor. But I'm son of a dynasty because I believe in good things. So people who put their mind in hustling, now they can see what hustling means. And now Sabina goes and ties her hand. Bro, I'm a medic. When you fracture your hand, you cannot raise your hand like this in a car. You saw what she was putting. You actually hold it like this. She's in the car. Look at that picture. Mkono yake iko juu hivi. Na imevunjika. You know, that hand haikuvunjika. Whatever she's putting in her hand, like holding her hand, arm's rest, it's neither here or here. You have a armrest, but you're talking and doing this, your hand like this, and you're talking in the church. Unajua iPhone 14 ilienda, but you're doing this to your hand. Na imevunjika. I mean, try another movie, Sabina.
I think we will give her the right of response. Did you actually break your hand, Sabina Chege, if you might run across this particular clip? Because doctors are saying